Al's based in the Software Centre in Sunderland. So when I said that Sunderland has pretty much is dominated by one sector in terms of its economy being automotive, the second sector, which is getting a lot of, if you like, push, promotion, and a lot of impetus behind it, is software. And Sunderland's known as Sunderland Software City. I don't know whether you're familiar with that, but Al is one of the pioneers who is driving this forward with his business. So Al's going to give you, as he says, 10 top tips for success, not 11, so listen very carefully.
Well, hello everybody. There's a few things I wanted to talk about first before we go to the top tips. I thought, as quickly as I can, could I perhaps condense the experience that I've had since I've been in school and college and university and so on and so forth into where I am now. I'm going to try and do that really quickly to 15 minutes and then go through the top tips, which I will keep as concise as I can because I know you're all eager to get on what you can. So I'm a Sunderland guy. I'm from around here. I went to school around here. I went to college around here. I went to Sunderland University, which I graduated from in 2002 in computing at the time. And then, like possibly a lot of yourselves will be looking at in the future when you finish your education or wherever you want to go, you'll be looking to get a job or possibly start your own business. For me at the time, it was how I'm going to get a job. So I went to try and get myself a job as a software engineer. And everywhere I went, nobody wanted to give me a job as a software engineer. They wanted me to be a sales guy. And I kept scratching my head thinking, I don't want to be a sales guy. I want to be a software engineer. Until I realised maybe I'm a really good sales guy. So I got my foot in the door of British Telecom, and I became an account manager there. And very quickly, I got my head around how corporate affairs worked. Flew up the ladder, became a very senior specialist in my chosen technology, which was call centre technology. 5 years later, well, I've had quite a lot of experience and knowledge here. It's time to move on. Moved on. I spent a bit of time getting my engineering skills up. Thought this is great. Let's move on. Let's start a company. Time to do something really good now. Time to do something really exciting. Boy, was I scared. Absolutely terrified. I'll not hide it for a second. But I went and did it. And I set a company called Affinity Systems Limited. With about £10,000 in my pocket. I had a baby daughter. And my wife had just gone on a year's maternity leave at the time. So I thought maybe I could have picked a better time. But I thought if I'm not going to do it now, I'll never do it. So I set up Affinity Systems, and oh my God, in my first year I made £20,000. I thought to myself, only £20,000 doesn't sound like a huge amount of money, or maybe it does to some people. With a small family, it possibly wasn't enough. But anyway, I got through that first year, and the second year, we turned over £160,000. I got my first employee, and then in the third year, I went up to £200,000. And I had a great idea for another company, which I called Rymote, and I thought, well, let's take this a step further now. Let's raise the stakes a little bit. So I took a business plan and an idea. I was introduced to a bunch of people from something called venture capital, which you may not be familiar with, and they lent me a big pile of money again. And then I set up this company, Rymote, and I decided to base it in Sunderland, where I'm from, creating opportunities for the city. I believe very strongly that the city's got a lot to offer, and so there we go, to create a Rymote. I know I probably made that sound much more simple than it was, and certainly if I cast my mind back, there's a lot more to it than that, but in effect, that's my story. So now we've got 3 staff, and hopefully we're trying to get to the point, as far as the business plan is concerned, to turn over 10 million within the next 3 years. So that's the strategy for now. So I'll go to my top tips now for you. These carry a health warning, by the way. You'll get a lot of people in business that will be telling you the right and wrong things to do. But I think what most people that stand out to me in terms of business, they come across as they're able to think of themselves. So take what I say with a pinch of salt, and hopefully you'll agree with me. But if you don't, it's not a bad thing. So 10 top tips for success. If I simply have the slides. Right, so this top tip could end right here, really. So never tell anyone all your secrets. You've probably got some great ideas, but it's probably not a good idea to share those with everybody. I think what I'm trying to say here is that you do need to communicate your ideas, but it's not a good idea to give the whole game away. But if you do communicate anything at all, you're not really going to get anywhere, are you? So That's the first tip. Number 2. Right, yeah, this is a good one. So again, this is just in my experience. I've spent many an hour or two trying to convince people I've got this most groundbreaking idea that's going to change the world, and why don't you understand how brilliant it is? Why? Because it's probably not a very good idea, that's why. Or maybe I need to go away and think about it a bit more. Or maybe there's other ideas that I could have that are better than the one I've currently got. So that's number 2. So what? Here's a great question, ask yourself. You've got a great idea, just keep saying, so what? So try and tell it to me. So what? So you've got the next flying car, so what? It flies all by itself. So what? And doesn't need a driver. So what? It goes on the ground as well. So what? It goes in the water. Keep asking yourself these questions. That's how you refine an idea. That's how you put yourself in your customer's shoes, how you put yourself in the shoes of those people that are going to be potentially interested in your product. And I think benefits, not features. People don't buy features. Oh, some people do. Some people buy an Apple Mac with certain features, but typically they're looking for something that's going to benefit them rather than what it does. That's what it is. Number 4. Alright, this is probably the best lesson. This happened to me early in starting up Affinity Systems, trying to get my first few customers on board. I knew I was great. I marched in there. I said, okay, hire me, give me all your money. And then they said, well, you know you're good, Al, and what you've said's really good. But longer term, how are you going to get customers? How are they going to know you're good? So you've got to think of a way that you can demonstrate why you're good. It's all right believing that you are, but how are you going to convince others that this is the case? And that's a very important thing to think about in terms of how you put your business forward, not only towards customers or potential partners, but maybe investors if you're so looking to get that opportunity. Number 5, please. Right, this is a difficult one. Telling yourself that you're rubbish sometimes and trying to learn from that and make yourself better. Some people in the room might already be very good at doing that, might be good at saying, I did that all wrong, what can I learn from it and get it right next time? Other people might say, no, I didn't get it wrong, I'm great, no matter what you say. Well, the truth of the matter is, I can't think of one entrepreneur that hasn't made a barrel full of mistakes. And I'm probably being kind when I say barrel full, myself included. But I'd like to think now I'm better at making less mistakes, if that kind of makes any sense to you. But that's through a period of experience and through a period of self-analysis and understanding to try and make myself better and be more efficient in terms of being a businessman. Number 6, please. Right, this is my favourite anecdote. Every time I say this, all my staff will sigh, because I pretty much say it every day. I don't know if you've heard the metaphor. People want white teeth, not toothpaste. Yeah? You ever heard that one? So if you see adverts on TV, they're trying to sell you fresh breath, or white teeth, or antibacterial, or anti-tartar. The truth of the matter is people want the zing, they want the white teeth, they don't even care about the tube of white paste that comes from some factory in the middle of nowhere. So, nice little metaphor for you to think about. People want white teeth, not toothpaste. Number 7, please. This is my second favourite metaphor. People like the sizzle, not the sausage. I've got a long way just using this single metaphor. It would surprise you. And I think, it's if you're going to take one thing away from you today, it's find a picture, a really great picture of the sausage. I ask anybody in the room, okay, if you don't like sausages, that's fine, but if anybody can remember as far back as the Danish bacon adverts on TV, you think about them and you're thinking about them in your mind, and your mouth's watering, and you see the sizzle there, and it makes you hungry, and you don't know why, but you want some bacon. It's a very exactly the same thing here. If I showed you the sausage, what it was when it came out of the factory, you probably wouldn't be that interested. But and it's a difficult one to capture, but if I showed you it sizzling in the pan, I'd look at things a little bit more differently. So my favourite number 8 one. So A is challenge, and that covers the sense of you look at man, number 10. See this quote. Sorry everybody. But what I'm saying is I started off with 10 top tips and I've really given you 7, but I've given you 8. But I suppose in terms of 8, 9 and 10, if you're challenging the status quo, challenge me, what I just said there, you might agree with it, you might not, but feel free to challenge it, and I wouldn't expect anything less. So take what I've said with a pinch of salt, but hopefully it's sort of inspired you to get your mind in the right place of how you might think of the challenge that you've got, thinking of products and services that can help the digital Sunderland. Maybe not think about how it is now, think how it could be in the future. So that's my top 10 tips, so thank you very much.